Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor for me to introduce the very first international guest star of Tolf Conrad. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tito Jackson. Good morning, Tito.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. And you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
So, Tito, speak about your new solo album, Under Your Spell. Do you want to introduce our readers and listeners to your last work?
Yes, I recently recorded a record entitled Under Your Spell. And I invited quite a few friends to participate in the videos and the record as well. People such as George Benson, my brother Marlon Jackson, Bobby Rush, Kenny Neal, Stevie Wonder, Eddie Levert of the OJs, and B.B. King's daughter, Claudette King, and Stephen Powell, my cousin. And the first single was Love One Another. And in the video, I started the video from a message from my mom, and it goes into the music, and I have the cameos of stars like my sister Janet, my brother Jermaine, the Kardashians, Kris Kardashian, Kim Kardashian, and Khloe Kardashian, and also Magic Johnson, the basketball star here, and also Tyson Fury, just a lot of celebrities, and it's decent video. I like the message of the song.
Yes, and Love One Another is a song that conveys a message of love and hope. How strong was the influence of Black Lives Matter in writing the lyrics for this song?
Well, it was more than just the Black Lives Matter. It was just telling everyone to love, whether you black, white, or red, or yellow, or whatever you are. You know, we need to share the love, and that may have gotten me in the mood to write such a song. And at that time, because there was a lot going on with the storming of the U.S. Capitol building in the beginning of last year, and also the George Floyd stuff with other situations similar. So it inspired me to write that song, but I didn't write it in any particular direction in mind. That's what I'm trying to say.
And among the guest stars of your new album, is there also Stevie Wonder, that's a Motown legend like the Jackson 5. Do you remember the very first time that you played something with him?
When I played something for him?
Yeah.
Or with him?
With him.
Well, with Stevie Wonder and the Jackson 5, they did a recording together way back in the day of Motown called You Haven't Done Nothing. And we sung on that recording with him. So that was the first time I worked with him and did music with him. But he happens to be in my family's bloodline. So he's a relative of my family, but down in the line. So I had called him, since he was a cousin of mine, distant. I called him and asked him, would he mind doing this, part on this record? He asked me to send it to him, and such I did. And he was more than willing. He loved the song and the message and everything about it.
And for Rock Me Baby, you're joined by the B.B. King's daughter, Claudette King. Do you have a special story about B.B. King that you want to tell us?
Yes, well, B.B. King came to my neighborhood to perform one year, and I was going to the show, so I went to the show, and I started noticing these people with guitars in their hand, in the case, of course, and he's on stage performing. And then I saw a friend of mine with the guitar, and I said, why did you bring your guitar? He said, you don't know? I said, I don't know what. He said, B.B. King has this section in his show where he would invite guests who has the guitar to come up and do a song with him.
Wow.
He said, do you have yours? I said, no, man, but I can run home and get it, because I only live maybe 10, 15 minutes from the venue. So I ran home to get my guitar and came back. And when I got back, that section of his show was over with. So I didn't get to perform with him. But then he came to another show. And my mom's a big B.B. King lover too. And I decided I would take her, and I brought my guitar along with me this time. I'm not going to miss this part.
Of course.
Years later. So I'm sitting there with my guitar, and I'm the only one with a guitar in the audience. I'm looking around trying to see who else have a guitar. Anyhow, that section of the show never came. He had taken the show, so I didn't get a chance to play. But I went backstage, and he signed my guitar for me. So it's my treasure.
Wheels Keep Turning is the song that opens the album. How was this song born? And is there a reference to your Motown period in the sound of this song?
Well, I think just the way we recorded the album lends itself to that because of the live musicians. We're not using sequences and fake drums and all these other things that they use in music today. It's very traditional, and that whole thing, writer partner by the name of Michael Jackson. Of course, he's not my brother, but they happen to have the same name. His middle initial was K instead of J. But we write together, and I think he's a lot he has that Motown vibe as well. So he's from a group called Portrait back in the day, and very talented gentleman. And he's actually the one that came up with that song, Wheels Keep Turning. So that's basically how the song was born. And then that song basically speaks of no matter what it is, just, keep going, I'm going to see this young lady that, so the wheels keep turning, and no matter what, I'm going to see her on a tractor, So it's funny, but that's basically what it is.
And do you want to tell us how was the very first audition of the Jackson 5 with the Motown?
Yes. At that time, I think we were in New York City. Of course, Motown is in Detroit. But we were at the Apollo Theater, and we had did our shows, and we had a appointment to go on the David Frost show, I believe it was, or Dick Cavett, one of those English. So anyway, I wanted to go on those shows, but we also had gotten a phone call that Motown wanted us to come in and audition, which we couldn't do them both. We had to choose one. And I wanted to do the Cavett show because I figured we would be seen by the whole United States or nationally, and not just by one person, which would have been very gaudy. Of course, the group being Motown, loving Motown and learning all the Motown songs and all of that, my brothers were very excited about going to Motown. So that's where we went. So when we got to Motown, Barry Gordy was there, and the whole staff had brought us into this room, and with our equipment set up and microphones and everything. They wanted to see us perform, audition. Barry Gordy was in the corner with Suzanne DePaz, and he wasn't showing no expression while we were performing and not doing nothing, just, paying attention, but not showing any expression. We're looking, trying to see if he's going to be patting his feet or snapping his finger or something, but nothing. So we have finished our final number, and Barry Gordy walked over to us slowly and said to us, "I'm going to take your first 3 records number 1." And we got so excited about that. He took 4 of them number 1.
Yes.
Yes, the first 4 records that Jackson 5 had went number 1 worldwide. And he said, "But I tell you what I want you to do. I want you, tomorrow I'm giving a party for Diana Ross over at my house around the pool," because he had an indoor pool. He said, "I want you guys to come and perform." So we came over and we performed. And at the performance was all the celebrities, Diana Ross, Marvin Gaye, Temptations, Four Tops, all of them were there at this show. And here we are singing their songs to them. And it was like the true test, I would say, and they just really enjoyed it, came over to us and said, "Welcome to the company." And, they just took us under their wings. And we were very proud to be with Motown.
And during this year, Jackson's album were released in an expanded and remastered versions. And if you had to choose your favorite songs by each one of these albums, which would you choose and why? By Destiny, Triumph, Victory, and Going Place.
I would pick Destiny. I love that song because it is a true song. It was written up in the mountains where I had a cabin, and I pretty much started the song there on the piano and took it down to the brothers. We completed the song. It's one of my favorite songs because it speaks about being with yourself, getting away, because I'm constantly around people and concerts and people asking me to do this or do that or whatever it may be. And it's always good to have the one place where you can go and just be for yourself. That's what Destiny is about.
Yeah. And from Triumph?
Triumph, I would say, if I got my albums right, Can You Feel It?
Yeah.
Is that Triumph? Yes, Can You Feel
Yes,
It?
it's from Triumph.
Yes, because that song is a very positive song. It's almost like my song "Love One Another."
Yes.
They're in the same family. So it just speaks of love and peace and happiness, which we all wish the world would be, so.
Yeah. And in 2001, there was the last reunion of the Jackson 5 with your brother Michael, and at the Madison Square Garden, just one day before 9/11. Is there a special moment of that concert that you want to tell us?
Well, it was just fun getting with the brothers again, performing as a group, all on stage together, and seeing the excitement from the audience, the thousands of people that were there. Just the whole thing was a special moment. Then the next day was tragedy with the Eiffel, not the Eiffel Tower, the Twin Towers in New York City with 9/11, because the Jackson's was 9/9 and 9/10 was those dates for those shows.
Yeah. And is there a special lesson that you learned by your brother Michael about his way to do music and live performance?
Well, with the Jackson family, I think we all came up in the same school of Motown and knowing how to put together music or songs and giving expressions to where it's needed. But I think the most thing Michael's never told me this, but just by watching Michael work, his work ethics, and he would never give up on something he believed in. You know, I learned that, you know, if you believe in something, you got to go for it. You know,
Yeah.
That's what I learned. So, well, in other words, never give up.
Yeah. And in Love One Another, also in Can You Feel It, we speak about the spread of love. What is for Tito Jackson the love supreme?
Wow. I just want to see this whole world get along in peace and love, and not have these wars and unsensible deaths and things like that. You know, I just like to see the whole world love one another, just like the song says. You know, it's an anthem, and if we live by the anthem, the world will be all right. I'd like to see them take the global warming stuff like that more serious and everything, you know, just showing the world love and showing each other love. And that's what we're about. That's the Bible story.
Yeah. Tito, I sincerely thank you for accepting my request of interview. And it was an honor to me to do this interview.
Thank you very much. And for all the fans out there that loves the Jackson music or whatever, I have a collection of Jackson music. Pick up Under Your Spell and add it to your collection.